guys, Travis from the Third Gear Speed Shop with update video on the Freddy Smith Dirt Camaro. I think it's been 2, maybe even 3 weeks since last posted a video, so I apologize for that, but I have been working on it. There's a lot to show you on progress, as well as some new stuff I got in the mail. So let's get over to the bench and I'll show you. All right, so this is update 6, I think. And like I said, it's been probably 3 weeks since my last video, but I'll show you the progress I've made in those 3 weeks, and we'll keep moving ahead. So this morning I was working on the spoiler. So I got, if you'll reference back to the first video I posted some reference pictures of the car I'm building, Freddy Smith Camaro from 1981, and he had this this is going to be aluminum. He had this aluminum piece in the back window, and then these black, these will be painted black, and then I have this this clear, I don't know if you can see this, but a piece of clear acetate that will go on the back portion of the spoiler like that. I also have this little wing piece that will be put like so, and then there's another clear piece that goes from here to the back. So it's kind of a multi-piece assembly for the wing spoiler situation. But I don't know if you can see, but I was able to cut slits in the body in this sort of curved shape here, and then I just put my pieces inside that slit and glued everything in place. So I still have to do some body work under here, shave those down, but the body's coming along. I think also, I don't think I showed you this in the last video, but I was able to detach the lower A-pillars so that when it goes onto the body and everything is where it needs to be, I'll be able to glue the A-pillar to the frame, to the roll cage, just like in the picture. So that was something that the reference picture showed pretty clearly, that that's the way the body was, or the roof part of the body was installed. So speaking of the frame, I told you in the last video that I would be doing suspension stuff, and I've got the frame and suspension pretty much wrapped up. If you see under here, I'm just going to flip it under here. I made a rack and pinion unit from scratch. There's a couple pieces of styrene tube, and then this rod here. I've got some black wire wrapped around to mimic the sort of corrugated boot, or yeah, those corrugated boot, rubber boot that goes into the to the rack and pinion unit. And then I modified the kit version, the AMT NASCAR kit spindle. I actually added a steering arm off of the spindle, and then I connected the steering arm to the rack and pinion unit right there with a small piece of rod. And then in the bottom of the rack and pinion unit, let's see, right here is where the steering shaft goes in. And then I got 2 little pieces of wire that I'm going to plumb the power steering unit to the power steering pulley on the engine, and then to the reservoir on the firewall. And so this piece right here was just formed with multiple pieces of styrene that I cut and made these little knuckle pieces to make it look like universal joints. And then they go through the firewall here and then up to the driver's compartment there. Also got the I took the lower A-arms, I cut those off of the AMT piece because the AMT piece had sway bars attached and everything, so I got rid of all that and just used the lower A-arms. And the upper A-arms, I actually cut the right here was where the original coil springs would have gone, and the jack bolts and everything. So I got rid of all that, and I made my own, got them in this little baggie here, but I made my own coilover shocks. If I can show you real quick. So this is one of the coilover shocks that I made for it. Basically took the kit shock, and then I took the kit supplied shock and then just made these lower, hollowed out a piece of tube for the lower one, and then 2 pieces of tube to make the upper one, and then in the middle here, the actual spring was made just by wrapping a piece of wire around a piece of styrene tube. I think some people also use springs from ballpoint pens, but this scale fit what I needed, and then the it actually just fits right inside here like so. The only thing that I did different on this one than the last one I made is I actually installed the lower A-arms are already glued in place, so now I have to make my brackets. I can't get the spring in there if I do my brackets now, so I have to paint the frame, get everything painted up and detail painted, and then go back in with my brackets on the frame. So that's a little tricky, but I think I'll be able to handle that. Last time I was able to sandwich the spring into the bracket that I already made on the frame, and put the carefully put the lower A-arm in, but I didn't do it this time. Let's see, what else can I tell you about? I got the front post there to mount my tires. Just going to grab the spring out of here. Then we'll move on to the back. This is a piece, this is a quick change rear end that I got from Ron Kuhn Resins. Very nice piece. It comes with a much longer axle so that you can cut it to your desired length. So basically what I did was I got my desired length by measuring to the front, and then taking the measurement, taking into consideration the wheel size to get my overall the actual tube length, and then the overall axle length. So that piece went together really well. Then the only weird thing is I actually had to block up my leaf springs pretty high. I think if this were a real car, that would be pretty excessive in terms of the amount of lowering blocks that I had to do to get it to match the front. It's going to be sitting roughly 2 or 3 scale inches higher in the back, not a lot, but just a little bit. In retrospect, and the next time I do one of these, note to self, I'm going to mount the front of the spring a little bit higher up on the frame, and that'll give me enough lift or lowering to where I won't have to use so many lowering blocks. But anyway, I don't think it's going to be noticeable once it's in the car. But I just have to remember that next time. So if I just fish this through and then I'm able to just set the rear end in place like so. And then I've got clearance for my drive shaft, so I got to figure all that out. Also made some rear shock mounts. So the top shock mounts, I don't know if you can see them very clearly. There's one right there, and there's another one right there, just mounted to this bar across the top. And then the bottom one is two pieces that it's a piece of curved round tubing that I just squeezed and flattened on this side, so it'll glue flat to the spring, the leaf spring bracket or whatever you call that piece right there. And then I made some homemade scratch built, not entirely scratch built, but I made some scratch built shocks out of the kit shocks, and they're much longer than what's provided in the kit to make for that custom length to go from the bottom. Oh, that's the wrong one. These are actually two different lengths too, which is kind of interesting, but they just slide on there just like so. Pretty easy. I was pretty happy with the way those shocks came out. So, and I got clearance for my rear end, so that came out pretty good. I was happy with that. So the rear end is pretty much done. Well, definitely done, and the front end is pretty much done. And I was able to finish out this side of the driver's side roll cage. So all that's left really is I've got to make a shifter for it. I've got some pedals in there. You're not going to be able to see them too good once everything is, the dash is put in and everything. But I got some pedals in there. Got my seat that I need to detail with belts, and then the seat will just drop in from above. And like I said, I'm going to make a longer shifter than what's provided in the kit, because the shifter needs to extend back to about right, I don't know, about right here somewhere. I got a fire extinguisher. I'm just going to use the kit fire extinguisher. And so yeah, from here we're just going to be painting and detailing the chassis. I got the reservoirs for the brake and clutch. So let's see, what else can I show you? I moved on to making some zoomy headers. So these headers are just straight dump headers that dump out the bottom of the car, which was popular at the time. So I've got a right and left set of just simple little scratch built zoomy headers. I made those. Then I made a lower radiator hose, but that's nothing really to show you right now. There's decals. Yeah, so I have designed my own decals. The first set that I got was like I said before in one of my videos, they were just too big actually. They weren't going to fit on the car and look right to scale. And I noticed some of the fonts and things that the vendor used for the decals weren't exactly right. So I made my own decals. I didn't make the decals. I made the art. So I don't know which is the best lighting to see, but I made my own graphics for these. These are the Freddy Smith ones up top. I made the graphics for all of the contingency and all of the numbers, and everything that you see there is all done, from scratch in the graphics in the Illustrator. And then I went on and put on some more on the sheet. This 50 is just a generic something I made up, but then I went ahead and did some Leon Archer 222 decals, as well as his sponsors, which are kind of hard to see because they're in white. But I also have another set of decals coming. I'm trying out 2 different vendors, so I'm going to see which one I like best. So I should have a bunch more decals coming for other projects, and so I was happy with those. I was really happy with the quality, and the way they turned out was a lot better than the first ones that I received. And just having control over the size and the style of fonts and letters and stuff, felt like it was more, I just liked it better. And pretty much aside from the printing of the decals, everything about this model is going to be kind of home scratch built. Excuse me. So yeah, that's catching you up to speed on week, what is this, 5, 6, I think it's week 8. I can't quite, I'd have to go back and see when the first video was posted, but it's getting up there. Not quite 9 months, I don't think. Or I'm sorry, 9 weeks. But anyway, I think we're still looking good for the deadline for mid-January. At least I hope so. From here on out, it's just going to be some more, got some more body work to do. I still have to cut body lines and drill in do all my riveting for the body. But the body's getting close. Like I said, the frame is there. I got to paint it. Oh, couple things that I've got some more paint coming, but I thought I would show you. I've got this mica blue that I'm gonna try. I've got some more paint coming, and I also got these at the craft store. I'm not sure if these are going to work or not. I will let you know once I get into detailing the engine. These are size 11 hexagonal seed beads, and they look like anodized fittings. I just don't know if they are going to be convincing enough once it's all on the model. So if you can see those examples there I have in my hand, I'm trying to find a piece of wire here, and I don't know if you guys use them. I've seen beads used for this application, and the round ones just don't do it for me. But hopefully these hexagon beads will look like anodized fittings once they're on the model. So it's kind of hard to tell, but here's in relation to the engine. I'm thinking they might be out of scale a little bit, but again, I'm not gonna judge until everything is ready to be detailed, and then we'll decide whether they look the part or if we're going to have to do something else. But at any rate, I thought they looked small enough and convincing enough to give them a shot. I think these were $5 per container, and there's probably who knows how many models, if they work out. If they don't work out, oh well. But I think that's pretty much all I've got for this week. Apologize for being slack on getting content out, but hopefully this video will have made up for that. And yeah, we're just going to keep plugging away. So not sure. Hopefully I'll be able to get another video out next week, in which case probably doing more engine work. I don't think I'm quite ready to put paint down on this yet. Maybe prime the frame, but probably going to be cutting these body lines and moving on to some more engine work, and maybe get the seat detailed. Who knows? But anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you in the next video.